How we gonna get down? How we gonna get down?
Yes, people, welcome to another episode of Weighed In. It's a special show today. It's the after show. We've just watched Whyte against Chisora. Stevo The Madman. Yeah, two. Ad. We got Ad.
Yeah. Savage Dan.
Boys, I won't get straight into it. We'll start off with Buatsi. Bro, deadly.
Yeah, lethal, man. Lethal. He wasted no time, man. He's just a good boxer, man. Smooth, and yeah, he's gonna come on big time and have a massive 2019, I reckon.
So looking at him today, I've watched him, but I've taken more interest in him now. Definitely. Is it power? That's his thing. What's his thing?
He's got. I'm not really sure. You know, I can't really tell whether his power's the biggest attribute, his speed, or because he has got a little bit of everything, and he's very exciting to watch as well. And Quinlan that he fought today, he's not no chump, and he got him out there in the first round. Now I think he got a little bit fortunate because he caught him just after the referee kind of stopped, and that was the first time he went down, and it didn't count. I think he was still a little bit rocked from that.
But for someone that's been boxing as long as Quinlan, he should know.
Yeah, of course. Gather yourself, take your time. But I think that helped a little bit, especially in the first, getting him out of there in the first round. But there was only ever going to be one winner, and that was Joshua Buatsi. And as you say, ending this year, hopefully as it means to go on next year, because he is another name. Like we've seen, Anthony Yard was ringside today as well, and obviously he's not under the Matchroom banner, which makes the fight a little bit messy. But that's a fight the British public want to see, Buatsi against Yard. And if we can get that kind of fight on next year, either of them or both of them could elevate themselves into even bigger things. And I think Joshua Buatsi could definitely do that.
Dan, you've spoke a couple of times about Buatsi. Who else could he fight apart from Yarda? You know if you're in that division.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, I think there's a bit of a difference in levels between like I'd say the domestic level fighters, and then you've got these two in Yard and Buatsi that I think are going to kick on to world level. I think they will both become world beaters.
How far are they from that?
I wouldn't rush this fight now if I was honest. They're both young. Both like relative prospects, you know. We know they've got massive potential, so I wouldn't even do that in 2019. I'd let him marinate for a bit. Yard's knocking on the door for a world title challenge. I know he's turned down a couple world title fights because he wants to go a different route. So I personally think, you know, it's about pacing these guys. You don't need to rush them. They're not 35 coming out the Olympics, so you can take them slow and make it happen in 2020, and it will be a much bigger spectacle, maybe for a world title.
So 2019, you've been saying that you're going to get fit. Are you like heavyweight?
Listen, I'm in trouble for any of these guys, if I'm honest. I'm in trouble for any of them. Let me get back in shape and back in the gym. You know, I've got a good sharp jab, and I've just got decent skills, very decent.
Sounds like you're stuttering, bruv.
Listen, we'll see if JD put me in the ring with one or both of them next year, and we'll see.
Sick.
What did he just say? One or both?
Yeah. Well, at the same time.
Yeah, listen, I'm not scared of anyone here. I'm a fighter.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest, I'm a lover. Boys, now getting on to the main event. We knew it would be a brawl, but we also said, and we've said it in our show, I think we said it this week, that as long as Dillian don't get brought into that sort of fight, I feel like he did.
It's hard for them to not get caught up into that kind of fight. I do think there was little things where Dillian was throwing in the uppercut, moving around him very quickly, and he wasn't doing those kind of things in the first fight, or not at least as effectively anyway. And so he was there being hitting and trying to move because Chisora was coming back at him quicker this time. And there was a few times where he'd catch Chisora, look up, and Chisora's just walking at him again. So I thought both fighters today were like that. Come on, you'd pay to see that again, innit? Like you'd pay to see. I know we're not going to see it. There's not going to really be a demand for it, but you would pay to see that fight again. And I thought going into that 11th round, I couldn't call it. I had my dad texting me like Chisora may be up, even with the
swear down.
Like people see it differently on television, innit? And like sitting there, like I felt the deductions gave it to Whyte, but without them, I couldn't really call it. And like people telling me it was going to be a draw beforehand, I was thinking, you know what, they're going to be right. But thankfully, Dillian Whyte got that win because I don't have any hard feelings against Chisora. I don't dislike him. But I want to see Dillian Whyte go on and test himself now
100%.
in those bigger fights.
Yeah.
We've seen AJ in the ring talking about that, but it's not just AJ. I think he could give Fury a fight. I think he could give Wilder a fight. I think he could give Ortiz a very good fight. So all those heavyweights, I'd love to see Whyte against them.
You know what? I feel like, and he said it after, he said that he wasn't tired once. I think there was one time he looked a bit tired, but I don't know if he was playing or not. But I really don't think he got out of second gear.
Nah, I reckon he made that fight harder than he needed to make it. It was round 13, not round 1 of a new fight. That was just a continuation of the last fight. So I think he could have made it easier. Chisora is very good at turning you into a Chisora, and it just gets a bit scrappy. And it got like that, but I think Whyte has the better skills. I think Whyte was slightly ahead. It was a close fight. I think the ref made a big difference to this fight. So obviously you lose a point or you lose 2 in what's a close fight, your head goes, start taking bigger risks, etc., etc.
But
So
when you're getting away with it, because for me, he was going low from the first round. When you're getting away with it, don't that sort of, as a boxer, don't that make you feel, oh, I'm getting away with a few things there?
Part of his game plan.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I wanted him out of there ASAP.
I personally think a lot of these shots were momentum. You know, they're throwing wide right hands and coming up from down there. The balance isn't exceptional from Chisora. So they're in the positions they're in where they're throwing from, they're landing on or below the belt a lot of the time. So yeah, he should have got pulled up on it. He did. But I do definitely think that makes a difference to how you fight. If you know you're 1 down or 2 down, it definitely makes a difference.
What you were saying about finding it difficult to call the fight, I feel that Chisora kept coming at him, but the cleaner shots, again, same as the last fight, were coming from Whyte.
Yeah, I think it was, judges score it differently, don't they? And I think we saw that in the last fight. Whyte was winning boxing-wise. Power shots-wise, I think Chisora was getting in a lot of those shots again. And he always makes it look like he's working hard. So he has that to him. What's incredible to me, 23 rounds of an absolute slugfest. Yeah. We saw 1 knockdown. Yeah. Like, and funnily enough, like, you're not getting back from that.
Is that because of the punches? There's a lot of unclean punches from both fighters, though.
Like, there were so many. I can't believe there's only been 1 knockdown in almost 2 fights. Like, it's strange, and I think both of them deserve big fights next.
I think they do.
I rate Chisora. Remember last year when he fought Takam? What we were saying? This year we were saying, nah, he's done.
So who are you saying next for both of them then? So there's people, they're saying Chisora, Usyk.
That could be a good gateway for Usyk into the heavyweight division. It'd be a messy one.
Would Usyk want that?
Or would it? Because I have a feeling Usyk's got enough skills to make Chisora look like how Tyson Fury made him look. In terms of make him miss, get out of the way of shots. I mean, Dillian's always going to be there for shots, take the shots on the arm. Usyk's style isn't really to take the shots, it's to not be there. So I think it'll be a different fight.
I just think the power there in Chisora is going to be different to anything he's ever had at cruiserweight. When he fought Tony Bellew, again, he's a cruiserweight that moved up to heavy to fight Hay. So I think that is like a daunting gateway into the heavyweight.
Power-wise, yeah? We saw Chisora, he's obviously been with Hay, lots of strength and condition, takes his toll on your body, definitely. Like I've seen how people do strength and conditioning, and if you haven't done it for a long time, your body does take a while to adjust to it. Did we see a Dereck Chisora that lacked a bit of power, or that maybe was getting hurt a bit more than he normally would if he had maybe a bit more flesh?
We thought that, innit? Because he lost a bit of that cushion, a bit of that absorption for the power. But obviously he's the only one that can really... And he went down in this round, so I think that probably answers it.
Definitely, and I think he was moving, like the first, should we go 5 rounds? He was moving, bobbing, weaving. So as soon as he stopped moving when he was coming in, that's when Whyte sort of started catching him.
Coming to his own, man.
So let me ask you this, boys. We saw AJ, my brethren, we saw him step up onto the ring. And we've been saying, it's like he's selling this fight. Like he wants the Wilder fight. I felt like, and I love my AJ, but was that a bit of it's my AJ. Was it disrespectful to Dillian saying, look man, I want Wilder, but if Wilder don't come, then I can have you?
AJ is very much like, he puts up polls to the fans. He puts up, like he said there, like, cheer if you want this. Like, he does it on public perception, what the public want. And I think he's kind of doing that with this. Like, if you're a heavyweight champion and you've got all those bouts, and you're hearing people tell you, oh, you're scared of this guy, you're scared of that guy. You think you're going to want to fight Dillian Whyte first, or you're going to want to fight the guy that people are telling you you're scared of? I think you're going to want to go there. Also, Road to Undisputed, We hear the hashtag everywhere, all that. That's what he wants.
Yeah.
He wants to be undisputed champion. Yeah, Wilder, one face, one name, all that stuff. It needs to be them, but as we can see with Fury, with Wilder, they're not really looking for that fight. They're looking possibly for the rematch. And if that happens, AJ has to have a backup plan. And there's no one else that deserves a title fight more than Dillian Whyte. And also, I think he gave him the hardest time in the ring.
I want to see Whyte against Joshua too.
Yeah, I'll definitely watch it. It was a very entertaining fight. It was like probably the first fight where we thought, oh, AJ is human. So it will definitely be interesting. They've got a history. It's now at world level rather than British level. So yeah, whilst you'd obviously like to see Joshua Wilder or a unification fight, the next best thing is obviously going to be Whyte fighting him. So
is that Fury's just out of the window now?
I mean, you never know, man. I mean, they say that he's going to be inactive for a little bit, take a rest. He's obviously had a very hard year and like challenging year. He'll probably take some time off. Wilder will probably try and get the rematch. So I don't know.
Fury's not going to happen. Fury will get a rematch, or he's not going to fight AJ, is he?
If I was Wilder, I would be chomping at the bit to fight AJ if I can get the right percentage, because it's a potential unification. Well, it is a unification fight, and you get all the belts if you win. You're going to get a ton of money, and you know that the boxing skills that Fury has is probably too much for you. You got boxed 10 rounds out of 12. So if I was Wilder, I'd be after Joshua, but there's something that's just not happening. So we need to get it.
Can I say one thing? The other day, Joshua did say to the fans, who's better looking? He put it to the fans about who's better looking at me and him. He always takes it to the fans, man.
You lost though, innit?
I didn't lose.
I voted for you though.
Did you vote for me?
I voted for you, yeah.
But listen, people, I hope you were as excited as us for what's happening on April the 13th, innit? Because whatever happens now, for me, I'm interested. If it's Whyte, if it's Wilder, Fury, who else? Jarrell, baby.
Yeah, he was here.
He's been doing the rounds, bro.
It's another testing fight. I would not like. That's a fourth choice fight, really. And then you got Usyk. You know, really, you want to see him in with a real heavyweight though. Next fight, April 13th.
People, who do you want to see Joshua fight? Make sure you leave your answers in the comments. Man, it's been a long old day. I mean, my back's done in, my knees are done in. I got kids at home that I ain't even fed them yet. I want to go home and feed them. I know it's a bit late, but anyway, obviously, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe, all of that, man. Time to go. Yeah,